5, 4, 3, 2.
So before I know, he's been doing a lot of things now. Last Laugher, T-shirt, hit. No, it's not saying nothing. I'm cool. Just saying Last Laugher's T-shirt, promoting his brand. Beautiful shirt. I love it. Thank you for giving it to me, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I want to tell you what that's about too. So
okay, good. We can get to that. So now let me say something to you, right? I've been had my high school diploma, but I just got my high school diploma last summer in journalist, being a journalist. So I made a mistake. I'm in my 3rd year now. I'm about to get my bachelor's of being a journalist. So there's a mistake I made, and I didn't like it, but I'm very vain with what I do. So it wouldn't have been a problem with him, but I was going live with my friends, and I called him off guard without letting him know we live. And it was the bad timing, and as a man, I'm gonna apologize. Now, I'm about to get my degree as a bachelor being a journalist, and I'm going for my master's. So that was a sucker move on me because I'm learning. I called him off guard, and the question wasn't bad, but it was off timing, and I was wrong for that. And I'm telling him live in front of the family and the world, I'm sorry, and I apologize, man.
Hey, man, you know.
Now we good. So now, I can get to being who the fuck I want to be.
That's right.
This is very sincere to me. Granddad, I was a good friend of mine. When he died, it broke my heart. He never did nothing wrong. He always came to the show. CAVARIO never told me no to nothing. I got him dancing with me. He never danced with nobody in the world. Now, shout out to K Slade. Rest in peace, K Slade.
Rest in peace.
Take off.
Shout out to Smoke 106.
Brother. And you being a major street dude from Harlem, who's never been home and never been to jail, what's your view on all these rappers getting murdered? My thing is, CAVARIO, I don't need to know everybody know I got the money. I just want to chill. I'll drive a Honda Accord and lay low if that's what I'm going to do. And I have the Bentley, but bring it out twice a month when I need to. Why do you have to let everybody know you got money? So what's your take on all these rappers getting murdered, man?
Well, first, you have to separate the entertainment thing from the street thing, right? As an entertainer, which is what a rapper is, part of their allure is the flash and the dash. So for them, as legitimate entertainers with legitimate income, they are expected to flash and show off and stuff like that. That's show business. Show the business. You know what I mean? That isn't the best business plan for street people, though. Right? And it's, as you said, I was in the street. I got in the street in 1980.
I was never 13. Did a day in jail.
And I went all the way to 1997, damn near 98, clean, straight, and clear. No issues held me. I had bumps in the road early on, but nothing that I wasn't able to get around. Like, you know, little lightweight case. Use your head. I mean, you got to understand that they don't expect you to have any intelligence, right? So if you're half-ass thinking, circumventing their system that's designed to catch non-thinkers is not that difficult, and that's just the fact of the matter. It was certainly the fact then. They may have a little more savvy now because between that time and now, so many people have gotten in the space, the street space, and they've revealed so much of what goes on that the system has gotten a little more savvy, but the system is still comprised largely of people who are far removed from the life. So the life evolves very, very quickly. And those people aren't in the space, so they can't keep up with the evolution of the game, except by way of people who are telling. You know what I mean? So, you know, staying alive, healthy, and free is not that damn difficult. Cats make a concerted effort to draw attention to themselves and their illicit activity, which is not going to ever work in your favor.
But CAVARIO, you know,
you run around with a bloody knife talking about, I did it. Well, okay, got you did.
So CAVARIO, the problem I'm having is that these rappers, they do a lot of dirt, right? And then they get a deal and they forgot they did dirt. It don't go away, CAVARIO. And me and Ron arguing with me, I think 1 or 2 chains, you got a nice sexy 2D. The 40 chain shit is killing me. You're a target. And these guys are getting murdered. The only murder was a mistake, it looked like it's Takeoff's murder. Everybody to me is getting killed for a reason. And that shit breaks my heart, man. Young Dolph killed me. Takeoff killed me, yo. I don't know these dudes, but I like these dudes. and they die. And it's always, Cavario is always the person who don't deserve to die. It's never the person who deserves it. And I don't think nobody deserves to die.
That's always been. No, but that, no, you talking in terms of the person who is behaving in the manner that draws that type of situation. The guy who's actually juggling the shit.
Yes.
It's never the guy who's actually juggling the shit. It's the guy standing next to
It's like a bad car accident. The drunk driver never dies.
Right.
But the other people die.
That's right.
So, moving along as that.
But let me answer the question you asked. You asked the question, why do I think that so many rappers are getting killed?
Yes.
And it's because they are assimilating the styles and behaviors and attitudes of street people, right? And they are not street people. And I think it's because they know they're not street people that they believe that I can act like that, but because I am not that, the square raising I've been given tells me that the kinds of things that happen to people that are like I'm acting can't happen to me because that's not who I really am. And my mommy told me that, you know, bad things happen to bad people, and I'm not a bad person. This is just a persona. This is just a thing I made up. So they don't understand in for a penny, in for a motherfucking pound. They don't get that.
Thank you. See, it's funny, Cavario. Flex is crazy, but I like him because he's standing because he got his own money. He said he playing 6x9 music. He vows on it because all you rappers.
Oh, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
6ix9ine, yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine. He said I'm playing all his music, all your town. See, Kakashi, yeah, he's right. He said,
shout out to Ashton.
Yeah. He said to me, see, the thing about 6ix9ine I don't like is you told everybody I know you told. So as soon as he hit these things, you a rat. No, because you're miserable. You're miserable, bro. But Flex is right. That YSL deal is that case is crazy. It's everywhere. Come on, crazy. Cavario, it's ridiculous to me. Crazy. I don't, for the record, Big Face Gary says it with Cavario Part 2. I don't listen to gangster rap no more. Talk about your daughter, talk about putting money in your account, your mama, clothes.
Yeah.
All you brothers do when you get caught, the laptop comes out.
That's right.
See, I don't go to jail because I'm not in that world. I got my own, I go to war. These brothers are killers and everything. Soon as that 10 to 30, yo, where your laptop, bro? My line, your hand hurt when they finish. Right. You gotta wrap their hand. You gotta wrap their hands like a Rocky boxer. They tell them some of their hand hurt, bro. No more Big Face Gary does not believe in gangster rap no more.
You listen to it, but you don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
No,
they're lying.
No one should. I mean, of course, a man of your age, you're too long in the tooth to be buying the bullshit.
Thank you.
But no thinking person should buy any of that shit.
Oh my God,
so
Cavario.
This is an interesting thing that you bring this up, right? Mm-hmm. I was talking to my partner Al Prophet, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
American Dope.
He's official. He's
them
official.
together.
Right? Yo, shout out to you. Y'all official, man.
What?
Y'all need to do a show together, man.
Al Prophet.
Y'all need to really get a show together.
Oh, that's that. I'm heading out to LA next week.
Oh,
in 2 weeks.
Man.
You're very good to
go, and we've been talking about this shit for years.
I will watch that show.
I mean, but it's going to be unlike anything.
You ain't got to tell me it's going to be great.
So check this out. Okay. The other day, I was telling him that he was suggesting. He said, "Yo, you should do something that kind of explains how this culture, the rap culture, came to be. Hip hop culture came to be as it is in terms of its mirroring of the street, you know." And I said, it's interesting. That's been coming up a lot in conversations I've been having, off-camera conversations I've been having with different people. And so the other day, I met a gentleman who he's from Eastern Europe. So it's like, he sounded like he was either from Ukraine or most likely Poland, because I don't really remember people. He's been here since '69. Okay. I don't really remember people coming from Ukraine, in '69, but they were definitely coming from Poland, right? So, cool guy, been here a long time, owns a couple of businesses up in the BX, a laundromat and a supermarket. Okay. So he was telling me about, the experiences he's had as the neighborhood that he's been in the Bronx since '69 has changed. So he was around for the '70s when, in the Bronx it was the gangs running around, like the chain-wielding gangs, the dirty gangs we used to call them, like Savage Nomads, Savage Skulls, the warrior type gangs, right?
Come out and play.
Right. So he saw that, and then he saw the heroin age come along, and he saw what that did to the neighborhood, and then he saw the crack age come around, and he saw what that did, And alongside of that, bubbling beneath that, he got to see the youth culture that got coined as hip hop. We didn't name it that. Corporations named it that. People who had the design on monetizing this genre, of expression. They called it hip hop because we said hip hop in the music, right? So he watched that happen as well alongside of this other condition, this other social condition, and he was wondering. He's probably about, I would say, dude's about 72, 73 years old, right?
Okay.
He was wondering how it is that it came to be that, like how it is that these kids, basically he's asking the same question you asking. Why do the rappers rap the way that they do and promote the kinds of things they promote? Like, why do they do that, right? Now, this is coming from a geriatric, European, this man couldn't be more removed from our culture as if he were from another planet. So, offhandedly, I just explained, I was like, this is how it went. There was the streets. There was no hip hop. We were in the streets, and I say we because I was in the streets before hip hop, right? And I'm not talking about when Grandmaster Vic and them were in the park out there in Queens.
You said before hip hop, that's a long time.
Right, yeah.
Hip hop's been out a long time.
Yeah. Before that, before Grandmaster Flash and them were doing what they were doing and all that, the streets were the premier culture within the urban community. So, the Cadillacs and the 98s and the deuce and the quarters, that's what you basically saw, sitting on white wall tires, spokes, and all that.
98 was my shit back then.
Right. You know what I mean? And that's who the cats got out with the fedoras and, the quarter fields and, stuff like that, whatever. That was the hustler, you know what I mean? This is the hustler of those early 70s, okay? That is where people in the hood got to see somebody who was doing exceptionally better than most everybody else in the hood, right? So they got to see that luxury life, a little bit of that luxury life, okay? Now, when rap comes along, initially, it does not touch any of that. It does not speak to any of that because the people who are coming into rap at that point, they have been raised in an environment where they've been taught things like, this grown folks business. You don't speak on grown folks business. You know what I mean? You see but you don't see. You know what I'm saying? And so it never occurred to them to make any references to what they saw in their neighborhoods, people who were on the other side of things doing. So there wasn't nobody saying nothing about, how this one had that and was doing that and was a gangster. That was not happening. It was just hip hop, rapper rhyme, 369, shit like that. Right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stop it. So I remember Dead President. Remember that scene, Dead President?
Of course.
When he knocked the nigga down the staircase and she was giving him head, he said, "How you think your bitch know how to give head like that?"
Right.
That's what she told everybody minded their business back then. So then you killed me right there. Because me, I'd have killed that nigga. You crazy when you told me that scene? Absolutely. He said, how you think your girl know how to give head like that? You disrespectful MF. Yeah. And maybe punch him down the staircase. So that shit killed me. So you're right, people minded their business back then.
Minded their business, man. Yep. Like people didn't say things like, "Hi, Mr. Johnson." Mr. Johnson's a gangster.
No, they know. No more mind. Yeah.
None of that. None of that. Everybody knew who Mr. Johnson was. Nobody said that.
Nah,
First of all, that was an insult.
Yes.
Okay? It was an insult. So, rap comes, cats start, rocking in the park, and they talking about how, cool they are, and the nice at this and that they are. Nobody's making any references to any street shit, and they're seeing street shit all around them. Motherfuckers selling dope like a motherfucker every which way. You know what I'm saying? People getting robbed, but nobody's saying nothing about that. Okay? It's happening. It's in my environment, because that's their big thing, right? When they first started saying, "I'm just rapping about what I see." Right? Yeah. Ain't nobody ask you, motherfucker. Yeah. Everybody else can see it too.
You ain't lying.
Okay? See, the problem we had with it then was that we understood how it would ultimately evolve. They start you give a nigga ropes, want to be a cowboy, right? So the first generation of rappers that started to say something about, you know, anything remotely connected to street people, what street people were doing, how street people were living, were around, say, 80, and this is not on records, this was just like, you know, mixtapes and shit like that. It's around 83 or so, right? 83, 84, 85.
So basically what you're saying,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm
So when they started saying things, they would say things like, you know, I know a guy, you know, in my neighborhood, he's got it good, you know what I'm saying? You know, he do this, he do that, whatever. Very general, and they get off of it, just to let you know about the blight, and it really was encouraged by, you know, my big bro, Grandmaster Melly Mel, and songs like, you know, The Message and stuff like that, to really speaking to the urban condition, because prior to that, you were living in that. Nobody wanted to hear that. People wanted to hear, you know, happy stuff or whatever. So nobody was rapping about that. When he did that and did so well with it, it piqued something in the rappers who would follow him, right? So those rappers started making intimate inferences to that type of condition, but never speaking specifically about anybody. Certainly there was no names mentioned, and there were no particulars that would give a person the identity, oh, I know what you're talking about. No, not at all. So then, that generation gave way to the next generation that started saying more specific things about, you know, their particular neighborhood. So now you can start to kind of, you know, hone in. All right, he's talking about he's from this neighborhood in this borough, and he's saying this, that, and the other. That's so-and-so, such. But only the people who are proximity to that have any idea who he's talking about. Okay. Then the next generation comes along, and you're talking about like early 90s, right? And now they're saying, you know, more detailed things about the street life or whatever. They give, you know, trying to give you more, you know, kind of like, you know, Rakim in the middle 80s, he's part of that, you know, generation of rappers who started to paint a more clearer picture. Coogee Rap, he gave you stories that were general reference to condition.
You know, Mr. Simpson, make you laugh. Again, this neighbor's incredible. Where we at right now, he's the one who signs Rakim. Cotty, paid in full, right? Why did Rob Smith sign Rakim to? Paid in full. Paid in full. In this building.
Zakia Records.
Zakia Records. Tell you, this is the building. This is history.
No
this
way.
I'm telling you.
This building's crazy.
I just got a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, my name is like a lot of history. Robert Smith. It's like Kirk always say that shit. Look at Robert Smith clap, man. Bobito in the building. Robert Smith. Mario Ellie, two-time NBA champion from this building. Houston Rockets and San Antonio Spurs. So I'm telling you, this building big.
That's
Mike
bizarre.
Parker too.
That's
Boy,
bizarre.
Mike Parker did a lot of good shit.
Mike Parker. Anyway.
Yeah, that's bugged out. That's bugged out.
Yo,
That's
moving along.
So
I'm
now-
gonna let you go. You're too smart. Keep going. But I got something to say.
So now the see,
This is smart. He's too smart.
This is important.
You're too smart.
Right? This is important because one can never be too smart. This is important because this is now proliferated throughout our entire culture, our community, and youth culture, period. This is impacting all young people now. And you got to realize that young people don't stay young. They become adults, and those adults impact, you know, the condition around us, you know what I mean? So it's important that we be paying attention to what is impacting the people who are coming up behind us. I don't want to be 70 years old having to think I'm going to have to take the head off of some, you know, 20, 30, 40-year-old dude because nobody taught him better than to behave the way he's behaving. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we need credible messengers, you know what I mean? So, you know, now you have this era that has been given way to largely by the exposure from the paid-in-full era, right? And, you know, guys are now starting to talk more freely about what they're seeing. They're still making references now. They might be even a little more specific. They might start saying, you know, a name here and there, you know, stuff like that. That's now if this is the line, this is all the street shit over here, and this is rap, this is what it's doing. Getting closer and closer and closer to that line, right? So now you got a point where in 90, early 90s, cats are starting to really tell people's business. So-and-so such and such doing this, that, and the other, whatever. I'm watching it. Now that person might not be around no more, whatever. So, okay, that's not directly impactful, but in a general way, it is very impactful because it's setting a precedence. We can start talking about this stuff now. It was before, it was taboo. You couldn't. You better not. Somebody gonna come tap you on the shoulder.
So
Hey, man, mind your business. Shut the fuck up.
What you saying these rappers talk too damn much when they rhyme?
That's exactly right.
Okay, so.
But this is how it happens, and if you understand how things happen, then you understand what is going to happen from what's happening right now. If you understand the evolution
So
of
I
the
need
condition,
to give now.
right? So we can't get to now, Gary, without coming
No, the reason
forward.
I'm saying that's because I keep saying, Cavario, I know you never could be too smart. Everything you said, I understand.
Right.
I caught everything.
Right.
And what
This is not for you though, right?
Oh, no.
This is for them,
And that's what I'm saying, the world. No, the world
Okay.
got you,
Right.
and I think
So-
you covered everything. What I'm asking you now, because I always tell you, you say you can never be too smart, but I'm telling you, you smart.
No, cut it out. I've been doing this longer than you have.
You smart.
Relax.
You
I've been doing it
smart.
longer than you have. Relax.
Right.
Relax. Let me do what I'm doing. Okay.
Very right.
Now,